What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Movie X Kicks, and I'm about to do a trailer. I'm not gonna say trailer reaction, but it is a inside the gameplay of The Last of Us 2 coming up. Now, as you guys know, I've been highly anticipating this game, like almost everyone else, and we've been getting bits and pieces of the game. Like I said, there's massive leaks that have been out, but a lot of people have been stopped talking about that for the past couple weeks. You know, there was a rumor that, well, not a rumor, but they said a lot of the game got leaked, but a lot of them are saying now that the things that were leaked were from like the earlier footage of the gameplays and stuff like that. So I don't know, so I've been trying to stay away from the leaks and all that stuff, so I don't know anything about it. So, but this is going to be a behind the scenes of The Last of Us Part 2 coming up, so they're probably going to show some additional gameplay. I watched a little bit of it, but I stopped. I'm like, man, I need to do like a reaction trailer or bring this video to you guys so you can see it along with me. So I've seen about a few minutes of it. So, but I'm going to keep watching the rest with you guys. So I'm going to start it from the beginning, and then we're going to talk about it afterwards, because we're only like almost, I think I want to say we're less than a month away from this highly anticipated game. Like, I'm so hyped for it. So let's get to it.
Under here.
What the gameplay needs to do is immerse you in the world, give you as many interesting actions to survive in this world and overcome obstacles. And obstacles could be infected, it could be other people, it could just be the environment, it could be rushing water, anything that could happen in this post-apocalyptic world.
Are you clean? Yeah.
But more than anything, it needs to put you in Ellie's shoes. That you're experiencing what Ellie's experiencing, making you feel what she feels. Because the more we do that, the more the emotional beats of the story work for us, and the more they work for us in this very unique way that only works in video games.
The gameplay philosophy of The Last of Us Part 2 is putting you in the shoes of Ellie and everything that means. It means giving you a threat constantly, as this world has. It means giving you the hard choices.
Because this game takes place in such a hostile universe and our characters are pushed to do really difficult things, we want to put you in alignment with those choices. We want you to understand how hard certain decisions were for these characters, because they're hard for you.
I would say the overarching philosophy of how we approached designing the game mechanically is how can we take things to the next level.
Everything kind of comes out of the story. And how do we do it through systems? So one is you have to feel the pressure of survival. Survive by the skin of my teeth. How do I use all the scrap around me? Any kind of bullet, any kind of rag, any kind of bottle of alcohol. How do we give you that sense of being a survivor in this world? Ellie is very small compared to Joel and more nimble. How do we make you feel like you're not the strongest person in the room, but you still should be able to rise to the challenge and survive, you know, a fight with a bunch of people that are all bigger than you? So therefore it meant creating a character and systems and mechanics that allow you to be much more nimble. And that's where we added a jump button.
Deal.
In the first game we had a climber button, but not really jumping. And here Ellie can jump. The combat scenarios are much more vertical, where Ellie can use elevation to her advantage.
Prone is a huge one. Prone, obviously, it means to lay flat on the ground. Something so simple, again, something that in real life you'd be able to do. Letting the player have access to all their weapons, all the items, crafting, everything, while in that position. And it just creates so many more emergent things in gameplay.
Now that we have this other state that the player could be in, which are very low to the ground, how else can we use this other than just hiding in vegetation? We're like, well, there's a lot of man-made things or different structures that have collapsed that allow just enough space for you to crawl under, which means that now, as enemies are looking for you, you can crawl under things and hide, and it's just one more way to assess your environment and use it to Ellie's advantage. Now, because you can hide under things, we gave the enemies, we made them smarter and gave them the ability to look under things. So while you might hide somewhere and be safe for a while, eventually they're going to start looking under stuff, and if you're hiding under a truck and they spot you, they're going to yank you out and then try to kill you.
Dodging is a big one, because now with dodge, anytime you're in a scuffle, you have a chance to get away. You have a chance to counterattack. It lets escape be an option as well. Sometimes you just gotta run. And that is another part of this world, which is sometimes the threat is so overpowering that you just have to get away.
When you are partially hidden, or you're in grass, that means people from afar can't see you, but people from closer can kind of see you. They will eventually acquire you. You're not completely hidden when you're in grass.
She went into the grass. Watch yourself.
And it makes you as a player become much more aware of your surroundings.
Jump, prone, dodge, all these things feed into both exploration and combat, because it lets us expand the space. If the size of spaces can be bigger, the intricacy of spaces can be more complex, and it still works exactly as you would expect.
So when it came to our level design, we really wanted to challenge ourselves to make a world that really felt like a real space as much as we possibly could, and didn't feel like a series of combat encounters and exploration spaces and then combat encounters that felt like a Hall of Horrors or something, but something that really felt like a space that you could explore that seemed like a legitimate urban environment. And that pushed us to make our level design even more open than it was in the first game, which for us at the time was pretty open. In this game, we've gone so far in making the level design open that there are actually entire story moments, entire combat encounters, like full scripted sequences that you may completely miss. And there are things that we feel like, even though a portion of our player base may never see these things, the fact that when you do encounter them, you feel like you discovered them. It lends them this charm and this magic that I think is unique to games, that, this happened to me because of what I did and what the place I explored too.
Crafting is very much about a payoff to exploration, meaning that when you enter new spaces, you want to look around for supplies. You want to open drawers and cabinets and look for different things that will allow you to craft either items that can help you heal, items that can help you attack multiple enemies at once, such as the Molotov or the landmine that Ellie can craft. Items that can help augment your weapons, like the silencer for her pistol, or craft new kinds of ammo.
It also gives us tons of interesting gameplay choices and overlaps that you can do at any moment and on the fly. We try to be a game that wants you to make a lot of different decisions in combat as possible. And the way that we've expanded the recipe roster and all of the recipes and how they interact with each other is carefully chosen for the different ingredients, and making sure that you always have these interesting decisions to make.
We put a much stronger emphasis on the importance of the choices you make in the long term for your character.
Would be useful.
Through the weapon upgrade system, through the player upgrade system, there aren't enough resources in a single playthrough to fully upgrade your character. The choices that you make, you're going to have to live with, and we wanted to make sure that all of the choices that you made had a really noticeable and tangible effect on the way that you play. You feel a greater kinship with Ellie because you are living with decisions that you've already made. Like you are continuing this through line of her journey through this world, and the moment-to-moment gameplay is influenced by that in a way that we haven't before. The realization that your choices have these long-term consequences is very much like the nature of the narrative of the game. And I'm happy that the mechanics are supporting that.
Man, I can't wait till the game comes. out. Okay, so we've got a little bits and more pieces now. A lot of that footage, like I've been like studying this game like a grad student. So a lot of this footage they've been showing in on repeat. It was from the showing almost from a year ago. Like we've been seeing the same footage for a while, but it was a couple new things they saw that they showed us that I hadn't seen before. Was when Ellie kind of crawled under in the very beginning and the zombie was trying to attack her, and I think Dina's her name, kind of shot her. I hadn't seen that scene. Also towards the end when she threw the Molotov cocktails at the clickers, I hadn't seen that scene before. But they gave you kind of more about more aspects deep in the game of what they've changed as far as you can crouch now, you can craft as you crouch and hide, and the hiding under things, and how people they're smarter. Like let's say now they have dogs, and the dogs will be able to find you, and there's different scents that you can throw off the dogs. So it's just like they've elevated this game to be more realistic. Like if we were in this apocalyptic world, they basically thought about, if we're in an apocalyptic world, what were the things the enemies would do? You would have dogs. You would have, if you're looking for someone, you would look under cars. You would look around corners. You would go through the grass. And that's the things that I think that kind of separate The Last of Us, the first part, from all the other kind of zombie-based ish games, is that the nuances of the world was so heavy. Like you could hide, you could craft. You know what I'm saying? It's like your decision making was kind of more important than your actual fighting. Like sometimes I think there's scenes. I think people have played it without even killing anybody. But you have to kill. I think like the boss and stuff like that. But they say there's scenes where you don't have to kill anyone through the whole game. Like you can keep around. Now to me that's not no fun. But and also the new nuance as far as like the silencers. I think that's dope. Like now people won't hear it when you just So like I said, the things that they've kind of elevated and make this game more for everyone. Like more deeper in depth, and it's just kind of like, wow, like we're finally gonna get this game. Like no more push dates back. And I love the elevation that they've basically gone, the mechanics and the things that they've worked on. Like they've basically went through meticulously and worked on all these small details to give us the best game as they can possibly give us. So I'm ready. I anytime I see these videos, they just make me more hype. I wish I could just skip to June 19th already. Like I'm gonna be down here for the whole weekend. Probably won't even leave. So but as always, guys, Mr. Movie X6 is out. Please drop me those comments. Tell me what you guys think about this game. Are you guys hyped for Last of Us 2 like I am? Tell me some new things that you saw in this trailer, or just behind the scenes that you hadn't seen or hadn't known before. Let's have a conversation about this game. Hopefully this game is as good as everyone hypes it to be, like I think it will be. Like I said, until next time, guys, please give me a like. Please give me a subscribe. I'd highly appreciate that. As always, guys, like I said, Mr. Movie X6 is out, and I'll holler at you guys later.